Ivan, are you ready to rumble?
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. No, we're not gonna rumble. We're gonna polish this Subaru. Arguably one of Nick's favorite cars because he has a soft spot for Subarus. He owns one.
I own a Subaru Legacy. I was actually telling you earlier how gorgeous it was and you just chuckled.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Well, they're a nice car.
I have the memories, I have the safety,
Yeah.
the all-wheel drive. There's things about the Subaru that us Subaru owners tend to enjoy. I've got a family, I've got a reason to love the Subaru. Look, it could be a Maserati, it could be a Subaru. You want to enhance the look. You want to deep clean it before ceramic coating. There's a lot of reasons why you'd want to polish paint, Ivan. Today we're going to show you how.
Right. And we're gonna be doing a simple enhancement polish. Even though it's 5 years old, the paint is in immaculate shape. The owner loves taking care of their car. They hand wash lovingly. They use DIY Detail products, but they use ceramic gloss. We can't put a ceramic coating over a paint that has ceramic gloss on it.
We have 3 pads. We have a wool pad, gives you some defect removal. We have the yellow waffle pad. If you only have one pad in your life, it gives you amazing cut and finish. Just a truly awesome combo. And then we have our red jeweling pad, which kind of glosses up the paint. Not heavy defect removal, but gives you a lot of shine. So when you're approaching an enhancement polish, Ivan, which one do you choose?
For me, in this case, I'm gonna be choosing the gold pad. There's the odd little scratch here and there, nothing major, and it will allow us to attack those scratches, get them nice and clean, but at the same time, bring the gloss up to a new level.
So if you missed how we washed and decontaminated this, the link to that video is in the description below. Don't watch it now, but check it out later. You do want to prep properly. Ivan, I wonder if we can get started with the polishing and you kind of explain how you go about your initial polishing test spot on paint. Even though we've already determined what we're using, I still want to hear the thought behind it. Because once you get going at home, you're not going to have Ivan next to you, and you kind of want to know the ins and outs of this so you can adjust on the fly if you have to.
So test spot, I like to start with our gold pad. And the reason for that is simple. It is the halfway point. It's not our most aggressive, it's not our least aggressive. Now, we know because of the odd little scratch here and there, the red pad will not be enough. Now, if you've got a new car, generally the red pad is more than what you need. But in this case, we have the odd little scratch here and there, but I also know that the wool pad might be a little too much for this. We want to preserve the paint as much as possible. Now, if you're not sure, do a test spot. Start with a red pad. Do a little section, and let me show you what section size means. Dampen the pad to start. Put it in the pad washer. Spin it out at full speed to balance it, and then one spray, not two, not three, one spray of polish on a spinning pad. Now, we have the gold standard polish distributed over the pad. I take my tool and put it at speed 2 or 3. Now, some people are confused about the size that you want to do. You never want to go wider than your shoulders. That is the first consideration. You don't want to be reaching too much. And for the test spot, you want to do it like you'll be doing the rest of the vehicle. I like to do a 3-pass system, meaning I'll go left to right, I'll go up and down, and then I'll go left to right again with a 50% overlap. And by 50% overlap, let me just show you here. It's easier to show than to tell. There's one pass. Now for a 50% overlap, it's very easy. I line up the center of my pad with the edge of where I polished. Normally I would move the pad, and you'll see as I go along here. So that's my left to right pass, then I'll go up and down. Then I finished with a left to right pass, and you can see they're equally spaced, about 50% of the width of the pad.
I'm gonna blow some minds here, Ivan. I'm gonna give you a towel to wipe off, and I feel like you're gonna say, but wait.
There's something wrong with the towel, it's dry.
Why would we not use a dry towel to wipe off polish?
We prefer to use a damp towel for a number of reasons. First of all, there are oils. Even though it's a water-based polish, there's a bit of oil in there. And yes, it wipes off easily with a dry towel, not a concern. But you notice I have what looks like streaks here because we didn't break down those oils. If we use a rinseless dampened pad, it breaks down the oils and you won't get what looks like buffer trails. And some people confuse that with buffer trails going, but there's buffer trails everywhere. It's because you probably tried to wipe it off with a dry pad. So, Nick, dampen the towel for me.
As I dampen the towel, I would like you to address what looks like dusting.
Right.
In the real world, we tell people that we have a non-dusting polish, but they're gonna see things like that and wonder what is going on. And so it looks like that may not be our newest pad in the world. I'm not sure, but I want you to drop the curtain. Let's get behind the curtain and be honest about what we're seeing here.
So I just lightly dampened the pad. I could have wetted a little further at the beginning, and there's polish residue from before in it. And that's what this little bit of dust is.
Pretty complicated stuff, Ivan. I just dunked this in my wash bucket of rinseless.
Right, and you want to wring it out. Now, Nick wrung it out, Let's just see if he did a good job. Could have been a little more.
So you want more wringing?
I want almost dry.
Okay.
We don't want a wet towel, we want a damp towel.
You like short nap for the towel.
Short nap is my friend here because it holds less liquid. We don't want to get the surface wet, we just want to dampen it. And now that polish wipes off with ease. I'm not in a rush to dry this off. I can let it sit, let Mother Nature do part of the work, and that's why I like to wipe off a section at a time. I'll polish a whole fender or a whole door, then wipe it off. Now that it's almost dry, I take my dry towel and buff to a shine. Now this vehicle isn't scratched up. There's the odd little scratch here and there. All we're wanting to do in this case is remove the ceramic gloss that's existing on the vehicle. That way our coating can bond better. And at the same time, just brighten it up a little bit. But the technique is the same no matter what pad you're using. The 50% overlap, no pressure on the machine, low speed on the machine, and the slower your arms move, the faster you're gonna work.
One thing that folks may want to do if they're not going after defects and they're kind of going for a quick enhancement, they may increase their section size with our waffle pads.
Right.
I wouldn't recommend a large section size with wool because you're pulling clear coat up and it tends to get mixed with spent clear coat in your pad and it starts to bunch up after your 2x2 section. But I feel like sometimes I can do a whole car with just one spray of polish. So it'll work in big sections. Can we just talk about section size with our waffle pads?
Right. So section size with especially the foam pads, you can go very, very far. The abrasives go a long way. They do their job. When you're trying to do correction or trying to remove clear coat, that is when, like with the wool pad, you're going to get to a point where the pad is saturated. And that's where you start seeing on the surface, instead of those nice lines that I had there, it'll start to clump up and separate from the surface. When that happens, it's time to clean the pad.
After polishing hundreds of cars with gold standard polish, one thing I like to do if I am going after defects and I'm not getting the result I want, instead of trying to put pressure on it, instead of trying to put my speed up to 5 or 6 on the dual action machine, I just clean the pad. I do a fresh spray of polish, I'll go back to that section, and it cuts. So a cleaning and a reapplication of polish can be just what the doctor ordered before you go to extreme measures.
Yes. Now, it's time for us to polish this car. Follow along. We're probably going to do this as a time lapse, Nick. Is that good for you?
Yeah, but we're going to stop it and have Ivan explain a few tricks along the way. As
Once
always,
in a while.
We are here to educate.
Yeah, because we have to coat this car too. What we have here is ceramic gloss. Now I just started polishing. This is my first pass on this section, and you see how it's bunching up. That's because of the ceramic gloss on the surface, and I want to keep polishing until that's gone. If you look over at this section, now we see the polish residue the way it's supposed to look. You want to keep polishing if you have ceramic gloss on the surface till you get this look on the surface. So this is the look you've got, great. If you have this, that means you need to keep polishing. You'll get the same reaction with ceramic gloss, waxes, other things on the surface that can easily be removed by polishing. That is the case. That's what's happening with the polish.
Ivan, I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
One, do I need to do the cross hatching, so up, down, and then left, right? Like, is there a benefit to the direction that my polisher is moving, or is that just a visual way to learn how to get your 50-50 overlap in?
It's a cue. It's not a necessity. It's just a way you're going to learn left, right, up, down, left, right. Like the Legacy sponge, you have the red side and the black side. It's just a way of learning.
So I could just do every pass in the same direction,
yeah.
and I'm still gonna get polishing efficiency.
Right.
Or get the job done completely. Now, I think I may have put this pad on crooked, and I realized that.
Yeah.
What is the benefit to having these borders the same versus having a real fat border here and nothing here? Obviously, I put this pad on in a not symmetrical way.
The balance of the machine. You'll have a smoother operation if your pad is properly centered.
Am I gonna finish down better? Is it just gonna feel better? What's the benefit or cost of not perfectly placing your pad?
It's gonna feel better and your pad is gonna last longer.
Okay, good to know.
Nick, we're nearing the end.
Rinseless dampened towel to wipe off the polish residue. And one thing I didn't ask you about earlier is there's the front strip of paint protection film about a third of the way up on the hood. We didn't talk about polishing PPF yet, Ivan.
Yeah, polish it just like the rest of the paint.
What is paint protection film versus regular paint, and what should we know about cleaning or polishing it?
So paint protection film is just a form of plastic, just like your clear coat is a form of plastic. It's a little more sensitive to polishing, and you don't want to polish it too much, but we can brighten it up like we did, just a light polish.
If you have deep scratches in your PPF though, we're not going after those.
No, you're changing the PPF.
Yeah. First pass with a rinseless dampened towel. Second, wiping off whatever rinseless residue might be left behind.
While Nick is doing that, I'm going to start with the app, and then Nick can follow behind and wipe off the app. That way we'll get around the vehicle a little faster. The adhesion promoter polish, or as we like to call it, the app, is designed to deep clean the paint. Now we've polished it, we've cleaned it, we've decontaminated. This is the last step before ceramic coating. We want to make sure we don't put too much on our pad. More is definitely not better. The less you use, the better it is. We're just trying to spread it into and on the paint. What the app does is, again, deep cleans, but also swells the paint just a little bit. And that swelling is amazing because what it does, it allows the paint to absorb the coating even better, giving you a better coating job, better results, and a nicer looking car. We're using it with a dry red waffle pad, not wet, not damp, and not another pad. This is not something you can change. Also, the machine, this one is a 5mm stroke. Between 2 and 9mm, low speed is what you want. You don't want a high-speed machine, and you don't want a long stroke. There are a few components in here that if you overwork them, they will set up before they can do their job. With the app, as long as you see that you're leaving something on the surface, that's all you need to do. You don't need to add more. Again, more is not better. We just want to be spreading the app, it's deep cleaning the paint, it's making it so that when we go to coat it, it's going to be the best job possible. How's the app wiping off for you, Nick?
So easy. So easy. I was just thinking, like, if we had an option, what would you recommend is just better? Heated motor polish or panel prep before coating?
App, 100% better every time. Now, panel prep is a great product, but if you're wanting the ultimate in gloss and durability from your coating, app actually is a better tool.
Question answered.
You may notice there's a slight difference in our lighting from when we started to now. There was a 2-hour pause that we took to do a live. We occasionally do a live Q&A when we're in Omaha, and that's what we did. So if you notice the lighting change, that's that. We no longer have outdoor light, it's dark outside.
And if you're watching this video as it premieres, you know this already, but if you're watching it some other time, every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have a live premiere on YouTube. So the video goes live, we're live in the chat. If you have questions you want to ask in real time, 3 times a week, we'll see you on YouTube for the premiere.
Exactly. I will rewind my cord and start on the bottom part of the car.
You like to work uppers and then lowers, Ivan?
Occasionally. When we're working as a team, yes. That way we're not in each other's way. Working by myself, I tend to do a section and wipe it off as I'm going around so I don't have to go back around. But as a team, it's a little more efficient to break it up into manageable sections like that. Ta-da, all done. Time to clean my pad, and then we're ready for ceramic coating. A little bit of rinseless wash, the pad washer. Clean and ready for the next time. It's clean, it's shiny, it's ready for Hydro Light.
Why did we choose Hydro Light? I happen to have a Subaru Legacy at home. It has Hydro Light on it. The two, I feel like, are like peas in a pod. I wanted to bring that marriage to Omaha, Nebraska.
There you go.
And so Hydro Light it is.
Hydro Light it is. And Hydro Light, even though being a very, very close relative to C6 Hydro, super easy to install. And like all our coatings, same applicator, same size bottle, and 8 to 10 drops on the applicator, and to the hood we go.
The hood's a great place to start when it comes to coating your vehicle.
Now this vehicle has paint and paint protection film. It goes on both.
No difference in the way you're applying to the PPF?
No, it's as if it were paint.
I know that we talk about leveling matte
Yeah.
paint a lot earlier. Do you want to level on PPF earlier as well?
Nope.
Wow, this paint either seems super thirsty or Hydrolite self-levels immediately because I can barely see this in the, where did it go?
It's still there.
No, I see
You're
it, I
actually
see
a
it.
little early on the wipe off.
Am I really? Okay,
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't
just-
see it. It was our lighting, I think.
Yeah, the lighting sometimes. Yeah.
Now, early on the wipe off is going to give me a wet towel. It's not going to diminish the coating.
No, not at all.
And we just don't want a wet towel because
It's not fun. And also, we only want to, our goal is to use one towel. You don't need to use 5 or 6 towels doing a coating job. You're doing the light green leveling towel,
yep.
followed by the fluffy, thick black towel.
Yeah, the plush bushing towel. The fluffy. What time is it? What is this thing called?
It's our plush buffing towel.
Our plush buffing towel does a great job, and it's nice to have 2 different things. It's almost like the Legacy sponge, a black side, a red side. If I have 2 different towels, I remember which one is which. Otherwise, they end up getting switched around mid-job. And like you said, the goal is to just use 2 towels, and it makes a lot of sense why. It's just easier. It's efficient. And when your leveling towel gets wet because you wipe too early, well, then it makes leveling more difficult because then you're mopping stuff and moving it around.
Yep.
And,
From the A-pillar back, Nick.
okay.
By breaking it up into sections and sort of hopscotching. So I'm telling Nick where we are or what I've done. He can do it. And at the same time, I'm not in his way. He's not in mine. And everyone's happy.
And I'm going way over and outside of the lines with my insurance towel especially, just because it can be easy to miss a spot.
Yep.
And then you leave excess coating on the paint.
I haven't done that,
Which
Nick.
is the high spot.
Yeah.
I'm so outside the lines, I'm just making sure.
He's like way outside the lines. The roof, including the shark fin, both sides. Next up is the mirror, including the glass on the mirror. That's a very common high spot for Nick, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, the actual side mirror.
Yeah. He does the outside of the mirror, but the glass, yeah, not always.
That's why experience is good. You know, you make some mistakes and then hopefully you're like, oh, I always do that, and then you don't do it again.
Yeah.
Reps are reps. They do help. There's no replacing just pure experience. Although you can watch enough of our videos and learn from some of our mistakes,
Yep.
mostly mine, and that can save you some heartache. Now, are you doing plastics as you go, Ivan?
Yep. So rear window, including the chrome trim and the black plastic.
Why do you do plastics as you go?
Just easier.
Yep.
I don't have to go back and forth. Now we're doing the windows with the hydro glass. It is a great solution for that. Keeps everything super hydrophobic. And the owner of this vehicle is one of these people that keeps their vehicle for like 10 years. So as long as they don't win the lottery, we'll see this vehicle back more than once on the channel. And Nick being a fan of Subaru Legacy as well, he wants to see it back.
Now, what are we using on the front windshield?
We'll be using Hydrolite as well.
Okay. I thought I heard you say hydro glass. It may have been me in the zone of leveling, trying not to disappoint anybody out there with a high spot.
So the reason we're doing the uppers, while we're standing, we'll do that. Then we'll get on our little cruisers and cruise around doing the bottom of the vehicle. That way we're not getting up and down and up and down. I'll allow Nick a few seconds to catch up.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave any high spots on the glass there.
Yeah, rear window and then trunk lid. Now, having used the app, the coating really sinks into the paint and it's almost self-leveling.
My goal is just to touch everywhere a couple of times with my towels make sure I'm building in redundancy.
Yep. Coloring outside the lines if you want.
Yep, coloring in and outside the lines.
Yeah. Rear window and then the roof.
Okay.
Now, if you're having problems reaching the center of the roof and you don't have a step, one thing you can do is this. You open the door, it automatically gives you another 6 to 8 inches of reach.
You're not stepping on the sill.
No. For myself, I can reach, but I know Nick is shorter armed than I am.
That's a good
Almost
word.
as tall, but his arms are shorter.
Oh, there you go. No, I'm not as tall, but no, that is a good idea. The door opening approach.
Yeah, and plus, it means you're not leaning up against the door.
And there's a car seat in here, so that's what I like about the Subaru Legacy. Once you have kids, your definition of cool changes, and it's cool to have a safe, reliable, good in the snow car.
Yep.
All right. Coloring way outside the lines with the insurance towel. Again, building in that redundancy. You might notice when I level, I do put a little extra pressure on the glass. I'm not gonna be scratching glass. It's very scratch resistant. I also know that if you let the coating sit on the glass too long, it can be a little harder to level, so I would recommend level glass right away. I didn't do that, so I just made sure when I went over it, it was just applying just what might be deemed pressure, which is kind of the P word in this garage. So we're not advocating that.
Yep, pressure is not your friend. So,
All right.
rear quarter, upper portion of it, and down to the A-pillar. Feeling smooth?
Feeling smooth, feeling great. I'm not worried about kind of getting 80% of this right. I just,
Want to get 100%.
I'm trying to I want to achieve like my high score of no high spots. Hasn't happened yet.
All the way down to the A-pillar, yeah.
I was way outside the lines there. Now, Ivan, this is not a brand new Subaru. Why are we not using any plastic restore and protect on the exterior here?
Well, the plastic is in great condition. If you don't need to restore it and you just need to protect it, then the coating is great. If you need to restore and protect, that's when you use plastic restore and protect.
It almost makes too much sense.
It's logical, I think is the word.
Built into the name.
Yeah.
Boxing, the corners. Just
Yeah.
a smidge of pressure, I know. We don't use it, but only on glass, Ivan.
Yeah, and windows are, the corners of the windows always seem to creep back up on you for some reason, so.
Yeah, it's like you use no pressure, but the towel like doesn't get in there as much, so I'm kind of...
So the mirror is done as well, including the little corner of the glass there.
Okay. One spot that I often miss in the high spot, hot spot realm is right around the mirror. And in fact, you can even see it. There's a little excess coating right there that I haven't yet leveled. So just a quick little boom, just like that. Right around mirrors are easy spots to leave high spots. So I build that redundancy in. Corners of glass, mirrors. And then I'm gonna do a quick check from another angle. Did I miss anything? Am I moving too fast? Different light angles. Letting light from over here bounce toward me. Things are looking great. I know it's an easy coating to level, Ivan, but it's also a substantially potent one in terms of, you know, high spots on the paint are no joke with Hydrolite. They're easy to remove early, but...
And like this window that you didn't even touch.
Well, I didn't touch it because I didn't touch it.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple, you know? But actually, the high spots are not there. It just leveled easy.
Yeah, no, you got a few minutes to level, but.
With Hydrolite, yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be a few hours.
No.
So either you miss it completely or you get it right, folks.
Yeah.
How many drops on your applicator do you put as you refresh from panel to panel?
2.
Folks are gonna have a tendency to apply a lot more than 2, Ivan. Can you give them the don't do it. I'm really serious. I'm not joking. Like, I'm serious again.
Yeah.
Speech, because I know what it was like to hear people tell me how to do stuff, and then when I got home, I just did what I did, which is way more product.
Yeah. More is not better with a coating. Once it's in the paint, it's in the paint. More on the surface just means you're taking it away with your leveling towel. You're wasting time, you're wasting product, you're wasting effort, and it's not fun. Back out the other side. Nick's following behind. Doing a great job. No high spots yet. We almost got one there in that front window, but caught it in time. This vehicle, unfortunately, is getting rare. It's a sedan. We don't see sedans anymore.
The move to big vehicles is well underway.
Well, big SUVs.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to have big sedans, big station wagons.
Oh, there you go. No longer, huh?
No. Being an enthusiast of performance driving, I much prefer a sedan over an SUV.
Yeah, you do like to drive the vehicles, don't you?
Yes. Driving is one of life's little pleasures. There you go, sir. The whole back of the trunk lid is done. Let me squeeze by you here. Because of all the emblems back there, it's going to take Nick a few seconds longer to do that. Not a problem. I'll wait. I don't want to get too far ahead. When you're applying as a team, the person that's applying needs to sort of respect the other person's speed. It's a little faster applying sometimes, so we need to make sure. And you know that when you're getting into more intricate places, like around emblems, around the license plate, all that area, it takes a little more time.
Yeah, my Subaru has some really generously applied high spots by the license plate.
Okay, yeah.
So I know the hot spot here.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make that mistake this time. All right, I think I've done my first leveling pass adequately. Now we're just gonna re-wipe here and there, get in all the nooks and crannies, make sure that backup camera is nice and triple wiped. Wipe around the Subaru logo. Okay, perfect, wonderful. Coloring outside the lines once more. Of course, down into this corner is gonna be a high spot, hot spot. So I'm gonna look at it from another angle and make sure that anytime there's a corner, intersection, angle, I am double and triple checking there. You may not see it right now, but you will see it under certain lighting situations, and by that point, it won't be too late, but it'll be too late to so easily wipe away.
Right, if you do get a high spot, within a couple hours, you can re-wet it with your applicator. And when you re-wet it with your applicator, you just have to go over it a couple times and that high spot will work its way out. Now, if you're past that, you can use the app on a little microfiber towel and just lightly go over it, check, wipe it off. You don't want to go past the coating, you just want to remove the high spot, which is an excess of coating. The rear quarter panel there, Nick.
Okay.
So now that we're on the quarter panel, I can pick up speed again.
Yep, I think I'm ready for you to do just that.
And the final way of removing a high spot is to use gold standard polish on a microfiber towel and slowly work it. You won't get it in the first pass. You don't want to use a machine. If you use the machine, it's too aggressive. You want to take it slowly and work it. And when you've seen how it's done, it's quite easy, but you just have to be patient and work that high spot till it's gone.
Ivan, it feels like Hydro Light is almost self-leveling. The one panel that I left quite a bit of time, like here, you got way ahead of me, there wasn't much for me to do.
No, it almost is self-leveling. The app really helps because the app opening up the pores of the paint or the clear coat, in this case, allows the coating to soak in. And I haven't done the rocker panel.
I just was
the door, and then I'll do the rocker panel.
Okay.
It allows the coating to soak in, and when it soaks in like that, it self-levels. So we're not actually applying the coating onto the paint. Using the app, you're applying the coating into the paint. We have more depth, we have more color, we have a little more shine too. And slickness, of course.
It looks and feels so good. As it should, right?
Yep, that's what a coating is for.
one of the joys of ceramic coating your vehicle is like the first wash and how easy it is to clean and all the water beads. But another is kind of this step, the final reward for all your hard work. The paint just shimmers. It's clean, it's protected, and it's because of you.
Yeah.
So it feels really good. Please write in the comments, what's the first vehicle you ever ceramic coated? And if you haven't done it, what are you waiting for?
What's the first vehicle you want to ceramic coat?
Mine? Subaru Legacy.
Yeah.
So some of the emotions are welling up on this fine evening.
So if we come in close.
Did you already coat this door?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say
the rocker panel.
Oh. This one?
Yeah.
Okay, both. Got it.
So here's an area where Nick missed wiping just a little bit. Depending on the angle, you'll be able to pick it up. Yeah. It's a high spot.
Oh yeah, it's not even a high, I just didn't even wipe there.
Yeah.
Yep. But look at that.
Yep.
It's gone. So,
safe.
Very forgiving. I mean, this is within obviously about 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't call that a high spot yet. I'd say that's just
a missed area.
Yeah, in the process of the...
Yeah.
It's a high spot in 2 hours when we come back and you say, you missed here.
Now, another thing we haven't talked about yet is phantom high spots. And those are from an excessive amount of coating being applied. You wipe it off, it looks like you've removed that high spot. It looks beautiful. You come back a half hour or an hour later and you see a high spot and you know you've wiped that area perfectly. That is too thick of a coating. What happens is there's solvents in the coating, and as those solvents evaporate, that's what forms that rainbow or oil slick on water look that we get. When we level it, it looks fine. But if you have an excess buildup, you've leveled the crust on the surface, if I can put it that way, and then you come back and that solvent is still working its way out from underneath. So one of the other reasons you don't want to apply too much coating.
We had that happen on a Crossfire that we coated about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you kept telling me you're using too much coating, and I was like, don't tell me what to do. It didn't look like there were any high spots on that vehicle until we brought it into the sun.
Yeah.
And then the customer came to pick it up, and we were like, oh my gosh. We were trying to level them all off with a towel. And some of them didn't come out because it was too late.
Yep.
So we didn't even have adhesion promoter polish out at that point.
No.
I sure wish we did. And again, it's like, you can hear it from us. Sometimes making the mistakes is the only way stubborn people like me learn stuff. So after that, I was like, oh, too much is too much. It's not just Ivan being Ivan. Like, I've had a few times where it really sunk in that too much is too much.
Yeah.
Like, too much rinseless just makes the panel streaky.
Yep.
All right, well then don't glug rinseless in. Just use what we need and nothing more.
Other than ice cream, more is rarely better. In detailing, more is definitely not better. So starting with the headlight nick, and then I'm working my way around the bumper, making sure to get the fog light area all done.
Well, of course you can ceramic coat every inch of the front grille depending on how ornate it is, but when would you recommend using quick beads as opposed to actually ceramic coating the entire apparatus here?
If you're looking at the grill and going, oh, then it's time to use quick beads. If you're looking at it and go, well, that's pretty easy, then coat it.
And if it's your car,
take the time.
Yeah, you might as well. It will take a while. Do you ever put coating on a brush, or how would you get it into those real intricate grills?
This actually can get into a lot of places people don't think it can.
Is it efficient though, going after like just the tiniest little, let's say there's 1,000 little tiny holes in a honeycomb?
Yeah, no. That's
brush?
No, a brush is not good. You're gonna put too much coating, you're gonna waste a lot of coating. That's where quick beads every 3 to 6 months is just spectacular.
Or every wash if you're that kind of guy. Because the thing is, you don't want to spray a coating because then you're going to be breathing in atomized, chemicals, and that's a way different experience than how we breathe in the air, right?
Right. When we're applying it, all we're getting off of it is a bit of solvent, and that solvent isn't that nauseous. But if you're spraying it, you're also getting the coating itself in the air. So you do not want to use an airbrush or something like that. And if you insist on spraying, please wear full personal protection equipment. That means not only just a respirator, but the full bunny suit, as if you're going into a very, very, let's say, dangerous situation. You're going into a nuclear explosion. That's how you want to dress. Now, I'm going to put the bottle down. I have enough left in my applicator to do the windshield. And that way I don't need to add more. Now, Nick, we got a bit of a high spot here.
Yep. Did I do this? Oh, it's just over the headlight.
Now, some people will tell you to coat the rubber on the wipers. Don't do that. It's not good. It's not good for the rubber. It actually dries it out. The coating won't perform better. Nothing will be good from that. Oh,
Just using oh my gosh, it is so slick on the paint.
Yeah.
Just using a towel to mop up that little drip. Wow.
But you can coat the wipers themselves, not just the rubber, just not the rubber piece that hits the windshield.
So anything that's not hitting the windshield, let's ceramic coat it.
Right, the wiper arms were good. It's going to protect them from fading. It's going to keep them looking good for a long time to come. And here in Omaha, they actually get snow sometimes.
So why apply this versus C6 Hydro Glass on your windshield?
This vehicle is garage kept. And yes, they do get weather here in Omaha, but the Hydro Light does a good job on the windows. And if they want in the future, they can apply Hydro Glass. Just for now, we're doing a one coating all the car.
That towel on the hood
It just slides off.
is a slickness that you have to feel to believe.
Yeah. When we're done with our applicator, we take it, we find our wash bucket, wherever it may be, it's right over here, and put it in your wash bucket, squeeze it out a couple times to get the rinseless wash or soap, whatever you're using to wash, flowing through it. Let it sit for 15 minutes or so, and then launder like all the rest of your detailing products, your towels.
How do you like to launder in terms of temperature? Do you dry? Do you air dry? What is your recommendation, Ivan? I think I'm more of a towel snob than you are.
Microfibers do not like anything over 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So you want to wash in cold water and also air dry or at the lowest setting of your dryer. And if you don't know what the lowest setting of your dryer actually is, get one of those little laser thermometers. They're not expensive. And do a load of laundry like you normally would. Open it halfway through the cycle so you know that it's at its full heat, and just check the temperature.
Leaving these blades up for the first hour, does that make sense while it cures, or can you just put them right back down?
We can put them right back down.
We're not going to drive it out there, but we're just going to put it back down.
Once you've leveled, you're fine.
That way I can see the backside of this to make sure I've actually leveled what you've coated. I was a little blind there for a second, and again, not getting any of the coating on the part of the blade that touches the window.
Yeah, the rubber you don't want to do. The plastic arm here, not a problem.
Just gives it a richness.
Yep.
Man, Ivan.
Now that it's coated, if it's not raining outside, we can drive away right now. If there's rain in the forecast, wait at least 1 hour before it gets wet.
If folks want to know, how do I actually take care of a coated car? We have a video where it's been at least a week, I think a week or 10 days.
Yeah.
We got the car back in the shop. We did the maintenance wash. It is so easy. It is such a short little snackable video. I highly encourage you to go and watch it right now.